Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On this Monday, again, the US markets are closed, but we will do the daily, excuse me, not the daily score, but we will be looking into shipping. We do that every Monday, more or less on every Monday, maybe sometimes Sunday, but it is what it is. Monday, shipping has done very well. I think we went to some sort of pause resistance here, maybe not. But yeah, let's see. The BDRY, the Baltic Dry Index. I cleaned it up just a bit to remove some of the lines here, and I have the most important on right now. On a pinpoint, that right there was just beautiful. Breakout, retest, move all the way up to here. And if you also look at it here, overall, you have a much bigger. So if we start to find a bottom here, as mentioned, at roughly around 1300, that could be the start of something much bigger in the making. However, if we lose that roughly 1300, that would not be ideal for the Baltic Dry Index. So the BDRY, which is the the dry bulk shipping ETF, has taken out a lot of the golden trend lines from that started over here. Huge move up, retesting, and now we just peaked above here, and we came back down last week. So I think we're in for a pause here. Let's see how low we go. But definitely a false breakout here usually is not the best sign per se. But definitely we have taken out the big stuff, and let's see what will happen in here. Maybe we go for a full. In my view, that would be a great buying opportunity if you come all the way down here. Yeah, SBLK still looks all right. We have broken the head shoulder trend line here, but again we are losing a bit of steam here. That was the small bull flag, and now we're breaking out. So overall, I think it looks all right. Why is my indicator gone here? Anyways, 1 second, guys, I will find it. And just like that, it's back on here. The 30 weekly moving average still coming up nicely for now. And yeah, long term, it still looks really, really good. But I do think we could be in for some pausing. But again, with all these shenanigans going on in with the routings and so on, I don't know the exact word for where it is happening. But let's see. CTRM, huge breakout, huge retest. Boop, there it is. Again, the retesting is done right here for CTRM. And yep, it had a huge move from 0.3 to a roughly 100% move. So yeah, definitely a big moment in time. Let's see if buyers will step in here for CTRM. I think it's a good indicator because this is one of the lesser popular or important companies, I would say. And if this can break out, retest, resume, I think that the overall shipping sector looks even better. GLBS, that huge move after we broke there, beautiful. Again, same thing as with the BDRY, we broke out here and now we're coming back down through that. Horizontal support, not ideal. Let's see how low it will go. I think we are going lower since we've had a false breakout up there. We couldn't hold the level at roughly 2.6, 2.4. So let's see what will happen here. SB, we actually just tagged it here, the long-term golden trend line. It goes way back further. And now we are just desperately trying to hold that horizontal support. Let's see if it can happen. If it does, then all you need to look for is what's happening in here. If we break out here, that's massive for SBLK. If I can show you the long-term stuff, that would be just absolutely massive. And a great entry if that is the case. I do think it will happen because, you know, we have knocked on that trend line so many times. But maybe we could go with some lower prices in the short term here if we start to break below, you know, 3.8, give or take. Ship, good old ship, also coming into some resistance, almost hitting that white one here, and we got rejected. Again, if you can get an entry here for that full retest of that inverted head and shoulders, then that would be, you know, a great entry in my view. The 30 week is coming up very sharply. So the long-term momentum is definitely to the upside, and we have taken out one of the bigger trend lines. D-Nord again here, just barely hanging in there above that red-orange trend line. We want to show you the weekly stuff here. We did break above here. That was the important stuff, and then we broke. So I think it's just recharging here to go higher. If we lose the golden trend line support, that's where you should be careful. But for now, it is still very much squeezing up here in the blue. EGLE, same thing here again with a false breakout, and now we're coming down. Let's see how low it will go. We have support coming up here, and we have the 30 weekly. So again, if it will drop all the way down here to roughly 50, again, that would be, in my view, a great place to pick it up. And always play with the stop loss, right? Depending on how you make your entry. Always, always, always have a stop loss. Because if this starts to correct heavily, you don't want to be in it at that point in time. So definitely a bit of a lookout here. False breakout, not ideal. ESA coming into some big resistance. Quite simply, that top right there from 2021. We can see it here. We're tagged it there. Maybe we need some consolidation before we go higher. But for now, it is a double top scenario until it breaks. GNK still looks all right. We have broken out here of that green internal wedge, falling golden, and we're breaking out retest. And yeah, it is in an uptrend, 30 weekly coming up nicely. Maybe we need, we had a bit of a nasty red candle there. So we see how low we can go. For GNK, GOGL, or GOGL, excuse me, we hit that lower trend line from that bear flag, and that was resistance. We did break out from that formation long time ago, which was what we waited for. Huge move up, and then we're just going higher. So definitely, let's see what happens here. You could argue maybe that you have some sort of rising wedge here on the daily. So definitely look out for that. But technically, we just hit the target or the low side of the bear flag to the T, more or less. DSX still one of the weaker ones. Just can't seem to break. We have a lot of resistance coming in here. Golden trend line, neckline, 30 weekly. So definitely not one of the more pretty ones. There are better options in my view. Both the overall ETF, global shipping ETF, had a huge gap up here from that shenanigans which is going on against. Again, if you have a gap up from news-driven gap up, that usually it gets closed. So if we come all the way down here at some point in time, closing that gap, that again would be a great entry. But for now, it is still full-on bull mode, 30 weekly coming up here, and we are above the golden. So nothing to worry about really. And you have to have a plan. If we get down to here, what will you do? Closing the gap, testing the golden trend line. Will you be a buyer? That is what you have to make up your mind. TNP. Again here, I think overall it is looking like some bigger stuff in motion right here. Again, can we take out that level? That's all we are looking for. So getting above, let's call it 25, 26. I think that bottom is in. Long-term golden trend line broken. Inverted head and shoulders getting above that 25, 26. Beautiful. TNK still on the move, in my view, to hit that long-term red support and resistance. Very close. And we will see what happens when we get there, to be honest. Still nothing new on that front. TORM here again, one major bull flag. If you notice, we have just made a small, tiny break above at a double top. So again, TORM here, be careful. I think maybe you could get this one a lot lower. Again, if we are having that third spike low, then you could actually be getting it at roughly 126. I wouldn't bet on that one, by the way, but let's see. INSW, excuse me, looks, green bull flag, breaking out of the golden, bull flagging. Now we're going higher. It looks insanely strong. We have, the all-time high here at roughly 53. But again, I think this one looks like it wants to go higher due to the fact that we broke that blue, which was the main trend line to break, really. So base dividend, 1% doesn't really matter. DHT, all you need to look for is that red resistance. And as long as we're in this green uptrend, I think we're going to hit that target over there. And yeah, next hurdle is that red resistance right there. Green uptrend, you can see it. So when we break here, in my view, we are destined to go higher until proven otherwise. STNG, just fighting that big resistance zone here, roughly between 65 and 68, give or take. That would be a big one to break. When we do, we will tag that golden trend line from up here at roughly 80, 83. You can see here we have had 2 weeks with wicks on the top, so definitely there are sellers right in that zone. Nat here, been following it for a while. I don't know what to do with that formation. I'm just only interested in this golden trend line. So yep, I will not do any further comments on that here. Front line still looks really, really good. As long as you're in this green uptrend here, you are good to go. We're back above that bigger, broader yellow parallel channel there, which is beautiful. 30 weekly just grinding higher. And yeah, as long as you're in the green, don't even think about it. Sim had a huge move up here, coming in to that, and we're getting a wick right there. Again, let's see how the possible bottom plays out, but this could be, as mentioned many times, some sort of inverted head and shoulders in the making. So getting above at some point 16.5, that is really key. We also did do the retesting, so overall it is really trying to put in a major long-term bottom here. We just need the confirmation, and that would be ideal textbook stuff right there. That is all. I think the overall takeaway is the long-term stuff is still in play, but I think shorter term we have some pullbacks and some consolidation because we are at big resistance levels across the board. And also look for that BDI to see the Baltic Dry Index to see if it can find that bottom here, roughly around 1400 for that broader overall inverted head and shoulders. That is it from me for shipping. Again, shipping, you can find some great entries with companies that pays a heavy dividend. So yeah, and people, it's a very underlooked sector in my view, because it is boring, a boring sector in quotes, obviously. So that is all I had for you today, guys. Tomorrow morning, the US markets will be open. That is nice to finally get back on that, because I think that's when you get a lot more volume. And yeah, I'm very interested to see if uranium can keep up the pace or we're going to close the gap. Again, uranium seems to be all the craze all of a sudden, even though we called it way before. So, guys, stay safe. Bye.